So week 2 in the EFL Championship did not disappoint. There was quite a few lots of wins. You had Preston beating Leicester. We had Millwall getting beat 3-0 off Middlesbrough. And lots more. We had Derby losing 5-3 at home to Coventry. It was a really good week for the Championship. Hello, I'm Jane, the SCFC fan, and I'm here to give you my EFL Championship predictions for match week 3. So starting off at Pride Park for Derby County versus Bristol City, and I feel like I've got to back Bristol City here. They drew against Charlton, which was, I think it was a bit of a, I don't know, but they won 4-1 away at Sheffield United. I knew Bristol City, I'm pretty sure lots of people as well. I'm pretty sure we knew that they would set up work very differently compared to how they did at Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Derby County, this has not been a good start. Like, I had them winning 1-0 away at Stoke. Stoke won 3-1. Fair enough, it's away. But to concede 5 goals at your home stadium, I think that's like 8 goals conceded in your first 2 games. Listen, it's very early to the season. You can't base everything off the first 2 match games. But I'm going to, for this one, I'm going to be honest, I'm not very confident backing away wins. But for this game, I'm going to back Bristol City. Score prediction for me, I'm going to go 2-1 to Bristol City because that Derby defence at the minute, it's looking a bit shaky, but they always score. They've scored in every one of their games. Carlton Morris, what a signing. He's a really good striker, really, for Derby. And then we head to Charlton Athletic versus Leicester, and in my opinion, this is a really tough one to predict. Charlton are unbeaten. They've got 4 points in their first 2 games. Brilliant start. Leicester, I thought, bit sloppy versus Preston. Most of their players were like, they acted like they didn't want to be there. It weren't the greatest performance. To be fair, they didn't even perform well against Sheffield Wednesday when they beat them. So this one for me is really tough to call. I can either see a draw, Charlton creating a big upset, performing really well, or Leicester's just going to send them back down to earth. And yeah, I didn't send out my week 2 predictions. I put on the post that I had Leicester winning 2-1 against Preston. I did put that, but it's like one of them games like you have a feeling an upset's going to happen, and that's how I felt for Leicester v Preston. Oh, this one's actually really tough for me. I get Leicester will be the favourites, but I've got a feeling Charlton get at least something from this game. Score prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between these two. I generally think that Charlton can get 5 points from their first 3 games, and that will be a great start for them. Then we head to the MKM for Hull City versus Blackburn Rovers, and Hull have picked up 4 points from their first 2 games, considering they are one of the favourites to get relegated. That's a really good start. You know, they got that point away at Coventry, and they've beaten Oxford 2-1 at home. When speaking of which, home form was a real weakness for Hull last season. They only won 3 games at home, which is actually crazy to think about. Blackburn, I feel like they were very unlucky to lose that game against Birmingham. I thought when they scored that goal and Birmingham got the late penalty, I thought it was going to be a draw. But that counter-attack, the whole Birmingham team just ran so quickly and they scored from it. So, yeah, on another day, Blackburn could have won that game if it hadn't been for that penalty and that quick counter-attack. But, yeah, this game against Hull is not going to be easy. I think Hull actually won this fixture last time out, or it was at the Ewood Park. Oh, this one's another one where I'm bouncing back and forwards. I either see Hull or Blackburn winning. I don't see a draw. I really don't, which is a bit crazy to think about considering it's Hull and Blackburn. Score prediction for me, I never said this last season, but with home advantage, I'm going to go 2-1 Hull. Then we head to Liberty for Swansea versus Watford. I think I've underestimated Watford a bit, you know. I think I backed them to lose 2 or 3-1 away at home to QPR. They went and won 2-1. And Swansea, they got that win against Sheffield United. And I can't say they didn't really deserve it. Sheffield United were woeful in the second half, I think. I didn't really watch much of the match, but all I remember is that they didn't really create much. Yeah, this one's another one where I'm just bouncing back and forwards. In my opinion, this just reeks a draw. Not in a bad way, but in a good way, because both teams have picked up from that bad start. You know, Swansea were terrible against Borough. They only had 3 shots. And Watford didn't create much against Charlton. They go into their next games, which are quite difficult, arguably. You know, Swansea had Sheffield United at home. They beat them 1-0. And Watford had QPR at home, and they won 2-1. And in my opinion, Watford's strong point for this season, I think it will be their home form. And yeah, I could see Swansea winning, but I think Watford will at least get a point from this game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between these two. Then we head to St Andrews for Birmingham City versus Oxford. A bit of a dull performance from Birmingham. I think it was really that goal that scored, that quick counter attack from that corner was absolutely brilliant. The scenes at the away end were fantastic there. Oxford are coming back with a 2-1 away loss at Hull, and I do think that their strong point this season will be the Kassam, but they have lost their first 2 games. Whether or not I'm concerned about that, I'm not so sure. They've had Portsmouth, which, to be honest, I've seen lots of people predicting them to win. And then they had Hull away, which is never going to be easy for them. And now they've got to head to St Andrews, which ain't going to be an easy task at all. Yeah, I think Birmingham need to improve on that performance against Blackburn. It was very not good. But I do think Birmingham's just going to wipe the floor with Oxford. Score prediction for me, I'm going to go 4-0 Birmingham. I'm really sorry, Oxford. Then we head to Coventry versus QPR, and who on earth saw Coventry winning 5-3 away at Pride Park? Don't think anyone did. And that performance for QPR, I think Watford went down to 10 men. The fact that they couldn't even get a draw, quite disappointing. Yeah, they've only picked up 1 point from their first 2 games, but yeah, it's something to worry about. But it is when you have to play Coventry away on your 3rd game. Yeah, I know who the overwhelming favourites are. I've got my favourites. But yeah, Coventry, they do tend to start seasons off pretty bad, but we have just seen that they've actually beat Derby 5-3. So whether or not that's an improvement from what Mark Robbins gave them, well, I'll just have to wait and see. But what is giving me something is that Mark Robbins has got Stoke top of the table after 2 games, so maybe it was just a Coventry thing in general. Yeah, score prediction for me, I'm just going to throw in a 2-0 Coventry home win. Then we head to Carrow Road for Norwich versus Middlesbrough, and this is one that I'm actually tough to pronounce. Not to pronounce, what was everyone saying? One that I'm bouncing back and forwards for what I think is going to happen. Borough won 3-0 at the Den. Who on earth saw that coming? And then Norwich won 2-1 away at Portsmouth. Another one where I didn't see it coming after they lost at home to Millwall. So, I don't know for this one. I think either Norwich is going to get the home win, which I'm probably going to back them for, or Borough is going to go and get like 9 points in their first 2 games. They've had 100% start so far. It's been a good start for Borough. Goal difference of 4. And heading into that game against Mill, I just didn't think they'd do it, because against Swansea, they weren't great, if you get what I mean, because Swansea didn't really give them anything. But to win 3-0 away at the Den, that's a statement. And to be fair, even winning away at Portsmouth for Norwich is a statement. For this one, it feels really harsh to back against Borough now. It feels harsh to get Borough lose because of that performance against Millwall. But Norwich at home, I still think I'm going to fancy them. Score prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Norwich, but I wouldn't be surprised if Borough got a point from that game. Then we get to Deepdale for Preston versus Ipswich, and Preston got my gut feeling absolutely spot on. My gut feeling said Preston will win 2-1. Obviously, I put Leicester winning 2-1, but that was to be safe. I had gut feeling Preston would actually win that game. Ipswich, yeah, I think against Southampton they were okay. They've drawn their first 2 games, but they've been really tough in all fairness. They've had Birmingham City away, who's expected to have a really good season. And then they've had to play Southampton at home, which in itself is really tough. And then they've got Preston at Deepdale, who have just beaten Leicester 2-1. In all fairness, a bit of a drowsy Leicester, but still, it's a really good win for Preston. Preston's home form last season against the big clubs, you know, I think they drew against Burnley, they held off Leeds, and they held off Sunderland. That game against Sunderland, they should have really won. All 3 of them sides promoted, of course. So score prediction for me, I'm going to go for it. 1-0 Preston. It's not because Ipswich are bad, it's just because I really do trust Preston at home for this season. Then we get to Bramall Lane for Sheffield United versus Millwall. Sheffield United could really do with a win here. It's 2 losses opening game, they're currently bottom of the table. Who saw that coming? And Millwall, yeah, both teams are wanting to get a win after 2 bad performances. I do think Millwall were a bit better than Sheffield United because they still created chances. Millwall hit the post twice, both sides. Sheffield United didn't really create anything against Swansea. Now, there's one thing to point out. This exact fixture last season, it did finish 1-0 to Millwall. Do I think the same scoreline will happen? I'm not so sure. I don't trust Sheffield United at the minute. I really don't. But they've got to really bounce back, haven't they? If they want to even challenge for the top 6, one important thing is getting off to a good start. I mean, we've seen how effective that is. Score prediction for me, I'm just going to give Sheffield United the home win. 1-0 Sheffield United, but in my opinion, anything can happen in this game because if Sheffield United won't perform like they did against Swansea, yeah, I don't think they'll win, to be honest. Then we head to St Mary's for Southampton versus Stoke. What a start for Stoke City. They are top of the table. They've beaten Sheffield Wednesday 3-0, which, to be honest, it was expected. But they've also beaten Derby 3-1. They've denied everyone's odds. Could Stoke be a dark horse? Now, this probably will send them back down to earth. They're heading to St Mary's, which, yeah, it'll be pretty tough. But Southampton, in my opinion, haven't been at their best at the minute. They just about beat Wrexham, and they didn't really play great against Ipswich either. Now, it feels so harsh to back against Stoke right now because that good start they've got off to the top of the league. It feels so harsh to back against them. But since Southampton's at St Mary's, I have got to back them for a 2-1 home win. But if Stoke play like they have at the minute, I can see them generally getting the draw from this game. Then we head to the Hawthorns for West Brom versus Portsmouth, and really good start for West Brom, winning away at Wrexham. I had a good feeling Wrexham would win. They've proved me wrong, happily so, and they beat Blackburn on the opening day. It's a 100% start for West Brom. Portsmouth, a bit disappointing to lose at home, where your fortress was last season against Norwich. And then you're going away to West Brom, which is not going to be an easy task at all. Considering West Brom's home form is really, really good, and they've actually won away from home, which they're not really used to doing. I think they only won 4 games on the road last season. Think of that. But that doesn't matter. Score prediction for me, with West Brom being at home, and just a quick note, this reverse fixture, this exact fixture, last time out last season, was a 5-1 win to West Brom. I don't think it'll be that high, but I am going to go for a 3-1 West Brom home win. Then to wrap up matchday 3 of the EFL Championship, we head to Wrexham versus Sheffield Wednesday, and Wrexham are the overwhelming favourites here. Very unfortunately so, because I do feel really bad for Sheffield Wednesday. Even though they got beat 3-0, I still think that attacking performance was alright. They had more the ball. They obviously lots of people are expecting them to face lots of shots, so they could see 3 goals at home. And generally, this is a bold prediction. Like last season, I do think Sheffield Wednesday's away form will be a lot better than their home form, and that is because half their home form stadium has been shut down. If you can, put in the comments #GetChansiri. He is a disgraceful owner. Absolutely disgusting of you to do this to a big club like Sheffield Wednesday. All these fans here, all the players, not getting paid, leaving the club. You only have 19 or 18 players. Sort it out. It's disgusting. Get Chansiri out. But moving on to the football, I am going to back Wrexham for a win. A score prediction, I think Sheffield Wednesday will score, but I'm going to go 3-1 Wrexham. And that's because, I do think Sheffield Wednesday will concede a lot of goals this season, but #GetChansiri out in the comments. Well, there you go. That is my match week 3 championship predictions for this week. If you can, drop a like down below and subscribe. And remember, comment #GetChansiri out. But also comment your week predictions as well. I'll see you all in the Premier League predictions tomorrow.